wants him to be, and then McMahon has a clear picture of what he's been, and they don't jive.
So the one thing
100%.
every time I think about McMahon is I go earlier, few years ago, to what he was before he came in to the Maple Leafs, and you knew him through your days, right?
No, he just played college hockey, and I'm
Okay.
familiar. I've read some stuff. That's all. Yep.
But he, the player that Berube's trying to turn him into, it doesn't come naturally to him. Is the one thing that I think you have stressed on our show.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get any levels of consistency because sometimes guys are really good of getting out what you're asking for at the time. But when you don't pay attention to me, then I'm taking my foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to McMahon. He has all the tools to go out and be this straight line, hard forward checker, lean on guys, break to the net, have two guys hanging over him and be a mule to get there. But doesn't want to do it all the time.
Yeah, I think it's clear that it's there for him, and it's not who he naturally is. So I do think that that's a tough contrast. What really stinks for him is when you have a coach that decides, you know, the line in The Departed where he's like, there's guys who can be hit and there's guys who can't be hit. Now that there's not quite a guy who can't be hit. That's Bobby McMahon, but with scratches. It's like, this is a guy that Berube has said, you can scratch him.
Yeah.
There's guys that are off limits. There's guys that we won't do it to. Bobby McMahon is unfortunately one of the guys eligible to be a whipping boy here for Berube, and he's just going to ride that roller coaster all year long. Keep the pedal down, to your point, Kip, or he's going to get the whipping. I don't know who else in this roster takes it like him. I don't think there's another name.
Robertson's been in and out.
Robertson does. But yeah, Robertson's almost exclusively getting the whip. No,
Yeah.
all stick, no carrots
Yeah,
for
yeah,
him.
yeah.
McMahon at least gets some opportunity. But
In the back half of our show, Jody Shelley will join us, former National Hockey Leaguer, in town to call the Leaf Pen game on Amazon. In terms of the Pittsburgh Penguins,
Did you want to talk about camp before we get to that, or?
yes, I do. Okay, before we get into
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, and we will with Jody Shelley, David Kampf has left the Toronto Maple Leafs. I didn't watch Saturday night. I was doing something else. Did Elliot speak of Camp on headlines?
yeah, he did. He spoke of him on headlines. There's a tweet, like a radio quote of someone talking about how the Leafs were still shopping Kampf and Robertson or something to that effect. And I retweeted it and basically said, I just don't understand the Kampf thing. You know, this guy is an NHL center, good face-off man, PK. I think he's a hockey player. And then it was made clear from Elliot that Kampf has left the team.
And they've suspended him without pay.
Yeah, well, I think that's
Yeah,
voluntary
it's
in his case. I think he left.
I mean, he did, but I think he's on notice that he's being suspended without pay.
Yeah.
And that makes no sense to me for a guy that's making $2.5 million and $2.5 million next year.
Yeah.
Now the Leafs aren't paying him, and I suppose the next move on his part is to have his contract terminated.
That's the talk, is that he is considering.
Giving up $4 million.
Yeah, it's 2-4 this year and next. He's considering walking away from that. So
you
4
assume that he's got a little bit of money off this year, and then there's signing bonuses too. I'm sure that's involved in his last deal.
Sure.
The Leafs could ask for some of that back. It's like crazy.
So
why would you do that?
Well, here's I think a very important question. If you think that being in the American Hockey League at age, 31 or something like that, for the next 2 years, voids your chances of getting NHL contracts after that.
He's not staying there for 2 years.
You
something's.
think if he
I
just-
think I agree with you. He's a serviceable player.
Yeah.
There's going to be a trade between now, March, off season, draft, free agency, July 1st. There's going to be a window where the Leafs are going to do something, and they're going to the Leafs are. The team may say, take 50% of a contract, and they're like, no, we'll give you camp. Like, there's going to be opportunities for him. Don't give up the cash, buddy.
Yeah. I think part of what happened here with Camp for them was a misunderstanding, miscommunication, or just straight up not telling the guy.
Terminated.
I think he thought that he was getting called back up and not that he was getting
Which is fine. He's not. Okay, but you're going to give up $3.5 million to be terminated on the chance that another team signs you for $950. Yeah. You ain't getting 2.5. You ain't getting 2. You're not even getting 1.5.
He must be really mad.
Yeah. I do think that he thought it was like they're going to move some people, whether
they tried.
or Robertson, and then he'd be back and everything would be hunky-dory again. And then I think
it's not out there.
He was getting increasingly upset.
So you stay patient and you wait. And we thought with Scott Lawton hurt that he would have been called up. They chose not to. But a couple of injuries and maybe you would have found yourself back up. Mm-hmm. Don't know. But I don't get this.
I got to tell you.
Take your net and go home.
I'm inclined to agree with you here that there's nothing to be gained from picking up your stuff and leaving. Whether, whatever you think happened, this is just kind of play well enough and they'd keep you. If you were so good, they wouldn't let you go, right? So play a little better, hang around.
I do think, though, he's gotten a pretty raw deal.
Some bad luck with the roster situation, the salary cap situation.
Suck it up. We all had raw deals at some point from teams. Suck it up.
But he's not right. But the thing is, it's like, to your point of play better, he's never going to go out there and start firing him under the bar.
No.
He has a pretty boring style of play that, if the coach
has a very particular set of skills.
It's like
he's a natural centerman.
Too particular.
He's a natural centerman, and he can kill penalties.
Yeah.
There's 32 teams. There's got to be somebody that's going to
Vancouver couldn't use him. They're hanging on by a thread.
I know. But you know what he doesn't have, and Berube, I think, really requires is a pulse. That competitive punch guy in the face, frustration. I think Berube just said we don't.
Did you watch their first 10 games? There was a few guys that were wondering about a pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the coach has not enjoyed that.
Before we move on, Real Kipper and Bourne are playing in the Eric Lindros Celebrity Classic in support of Easter Seals Ontario. Nick and Justin, along with other sports personalities, will be taking to the ice to raise money for this great cause. You can support our team by fundraising by scanning this QR code on your screen right now if you're watching on Sportsnet Plus, Sportsnet YouTube. Kipper said that we're in last.
Yeah.
He's one of the most competitive people I've ever met in my life.
I don't like being in the bottom of a...
And
not great.
No, it's not good.
So he's going to come out. He's going to come out and fight our listeners. So
$1 would help.
Yeah.
And honestly, the cause is amazing. This is a fantastic event. Get your tax receipt.
Yeah, just donate.